Sometimes we feel low self-esteem just because we look bad, but is it really so? Confidence is really closely linked to attractiveness. We often don't realize how attractive we are. That's why a third-person view is important. In this video, we will share with you 5 hidden but powerful signs no one actually talks about, but are strong signs of attractiveness. It can talk about human psychology, sometimes dark, but crucial knowledge for building self-confidence. If you can't relate to these signs, just work on yourself, build muscles, get a good diet, and meet me here again in 6 months. Now, before starting this video, we should ask you to share your opinion with us. Watch this video to the end, then write your experiences about it, or suggestions for this channel and which topic you want us to cover on. We are all ears. We will read each comments and pin the most inspiring one. Sign number 1, war in circle. Your same gender friends hate you, respect you maybe, but kinda hates you. Not fully hate actually, you got the idea. They get superiority complex beside you, even if you think you are not that good looking, but you can be in their eye. And people can sense the vibe, aura, and confidence, often very preciously, that we often miss. This is called Pygmalion effect. Sometimes, without realizing it, your presence can stir up complicated feelings within your friend group, especially among those of the same gender. It's not pure dislike, but there's this low-key tension. They respect you, sure, but also feel the need to subtly compete. This can happen when you naturally stand out in a way that highlights their insecurities, making them feel like they need to prove something. It's not all about attractiveness either. Confidence, social charm, even the way you carry yourself, all of this can trigger that superiority complex. It's that internal push to measure up, even when there's no actual race going on. There's a psychological explanation for this too. When people are around someone they perceive as having something they want, whether it's looks, confidence, or status, it creates this automatic comparison in their minds. This comparison often leads to a contrast effect, where your strengths seem amplified and they feel their own weaknesses more deeply. This can make even the most secure people feel a bit out of place or even frustrated around you. It's important to remember, though, that this reaction says more about them than it does about you. Psychology often points to projection. People push their insecurities onto others when they can't face them directly. They don't really hate you. They just hate the way they feel when standing next to you, overshadowing by your aura. We discussed why most men hates a Sigma male. You can check that out after that. So, when you feel that quiet resistance or those vibes of subtle competition, it's not your job to fix it or change yourself. It's human nature, and we all have our moments of feeling small in someone else's shadow. Sign number 2, opposite sex loves you. This might present itself in form of feeling some changes occur around the opposite gender each time you are in their presence. Some may get closer than usual, speak louder than normal, or try to compete with the other person. This happens more often than you can imagine, and it is a thing of psychology. Attracting, on the other hand, involves some sort of pull that makes a person want to compete with the other person in some way or the other. They often don't even know that they are doing it, but it's there, in groups, manifesting in group dynamics. This can be explained by the theory of social comparison stated by Festinger in 1954, which states that in order for one to assess himself, he must compare himself with other people. If a person experiences attraction towards the other, he or she may automatically begin comparing him or herself with the others. In group situations, they may attempt to dominate the friends or ensure that they are the most popular choice. Thus, they may do everything possible to ensure they are the most sought-after people. The second one is the self-presentation theory, which postulates that people change their behavior in social environment to regulate the impressions people have about them. This may be the reason why a person changes his behavior in your presence. For instance, become talkative or tries to prove a point. The underlying reason They wish to appear as the best option, and this presupposes that they want to make that lasting impression. It's a way of competition, even though it is not a direct one, and there are no strictly competitive elements in it. This is not just due to appearance, but a combination of things, such as attraction, vigor, and the actions and feelings you elicit in people. You might even unintentionally set up conditions in which people want to demonstrate that they are capable of doing something, not because you wanted it, but because they are forced into it. Sign number 3, you want help? Have you ever felt that people are becoming all the more willing to be of assistance to you, even when you do not request them to be? This may be what has been described as the halo effect, whereby people judge another person in terms of some perceived strength or virtue and assume that this person has other positive characteristics like intelligence, honesty, and/or integrity. In simpler terms, if you look well, groomed, or have what might be described as the right look, then people won't have to think twice about accepting you and all that comes with it. The halo effect has been documented by psychologist Edward Thorndike in 1920, and its efficiency has been vindicated over the years. This is because people have the tendency to identify with other people with positive attributes, and not just physical ones, but social and emotional as well. This is because if you are perceived as friendly, polite, or assertive, then others would probably be encouraged to assist you. It's not necessarily wicked. It is more of a normative conclusion derived from the manner that people interpret social signals. It is also associated with how we are wired, especially when people smile at you more or go out of their way to assist. Scientific research also indicates that there is some instinctual inclination about characteristics we have a tendency to like. It appeals to evolutionary psychology, where helpfulness was possibly a strategy to form relationships and gain allies. This doesn't make people fake. It is just how our brains are wired to think and function at times. If you're handsome or pretty, have a good-smelling body, or have a good posture, then maybe the world will be a little more willing to help you out. Sign number 4, you're clean. You may not pay much attention to it, but how you groom yourself and the smell that you emit has a lot of influence with people. This is because such behavior has a basis in biology as well as psychology. Scent sensitivity is incredibly high among humans, and how you smell can have a profound effect on how others feel about you, without them being fully aware of why. Bathing isn't just for cleanliness, but for evolutionary and social reasons to smell good. From a psychological point of view, scent can be regarded as one of the most influential senses, associated with such factors as memory and feelings. It is proven that if the smell is good, it would definitely help in making a positive mood in the people around you, and you also tend to look more attractive to them. When you smell good, you are therefore, in a way, using the best psychology on people around you by stimulating their favorable response. This can soon result in them having a better impression about you, despite being unable to place a finger on why this is so. At the physiological level, people have been using their sense of smell to make decisions on matters touching on health and hygiene. Sweat is visible evidence of the cleanliness of the skin, and a pleasing odor is associated with good health, which has been relevant in terms of evolution. Indeed, it has been found that people become more attractive to others if these others emanate signs of hygiene and health, and both of these are well associated with smell. One also has to look at the factor of olfactory attraction, meaning that there are certain smells that actually make physical attraction better due to the fact that our bodies are hardwired to process pheromones and other natural chemicals. Besides that, hygiene also increases self-esteem, and self-esteem is sexy in its own right. It is as if there is a cycle. When you are confident, you pass it on to other people, and they are affected by it. You may not realize this, but grooming plays a major part in determining the kind of response you are going to get from people unconsciously. Sign number 5. How old are you? It does not also necessarily mean that one has to be good-looking all the time, but how one handles a conversation, the manner in which you express yourself, and your demeanor when you are able to speak in calm, mature manner is what could make you irresistible. It's not just what you're saying, but how you are saying it. Calm, deliberate, and backed by real-life experience. In the area of social cognition, it has been found that people are attracted to others when the latter demonstrate empathy and emotional regulation. Whenever one is said to speak with maturity, it implies they can take their hits and give their punches without being silly, which is sexy. It is a huge relief to communicate with a person who stays calm and can provide information about something, who does not need to control a conversation and constantly express his or her superiority. The manner of speaking can also reveal self-confidence in some way or the other. When you are able to speak loud, but do not boast, you are assured of yourself. This is the right attitude to adopt. This, in a way, makes others feel more comfortable in your company because you are not expecting them to approve of you. Psychologically, this shares interpersonal attraction that operates under the so-called liking principle. This is because in communication, we feel comfortable and respected by the other person. Well, reasoned and calm speech-making makes a feeling that you are the master of your person, and such things are acceptable to others. The last element of this picture is that people tend to take on the emotions of the people with whom they are speaking. So it is with people. If you are calm, level-headed, and open in your dealings, then others will be like that in response to you. Subconsciously, you establish the mood, and people will feel at ease and comfortable to interact with you and be around you, and that makes them attracted to you. Sixth, or the bonus one, height is one of those subtle but undeniable traits that can make you more attractive. Everyone knows it. You don't have to be conventionally too good-looking to benefit from it. From an evolutionary biology standpoint, height has long been associated with health, strength, and protection. In ancestral times, being tall could signal a stronger, more capable partner, someone who could protect the group or family. It's a trait that often hints at good genetics. Taller individuals historically had access to better nutrition and overall health, both of which are key to survival and reproduction. This is why women, on a biological level, may be more drawn to taller men. It's not just about attraction, but about the underlying instinct for survival and the well-being of potential offspring. A taller partner may have signaled a greater likelihood of strong, healthy children. Research conducted in the field of evolutionary psychology has indicated that women favor men who are taller than they are, particularly if the relationship is to be long-term. This preference is related to the belief that height is associated with better ability to protect and shield, characteristics that would not only be useful to the woman, but also her future offspring. It is just that we are hardwired for looking for such traits that could improve one's chances of survival, even in contemporary society. In the end, height alone can come with a certain burden in the way that people treat you. It is the subtle power that translates into both toughness and stability, two factors we are still genetically predisposed to appreciate. Although there are many elements that go into the general equation of attractiveness, height is still one of those effortless born traits that can help you up your charm factor.